What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on my Civic Wagon some more in hopes of like finalizing the whole entire front end of the car and get it back on the floor. Now, if you guys haven't seen the last video, be sure to go back and check it out. We painted the fender that was super duper baconed out, and we also refreshed the front bumper. The bumper itself has been drying here in the garage, and let me tell you guys, the 7 Black, man, what a night and day difference. So I want to button up the bumper. I know somebody left a comment about this lip right here. Obviously it's my car, obviously I know it's there, and I just haven't gotten to it, but I want to address the lip positioning. I want to put the filler back onto the bumper, get the bumper put back into the car. The fender itself, I took off all the masking on Instagram live stream yesterday. I want to really push this car out into the sun and let it bake, because today is nice and warm, and the paint itself is dry. Like, I mean, it's dry to the touch for sure, but I would like it to kind of bake all the way through. I did notice that the paint is obviously slightly lighter than the rest of the car, but as I mentioned in the previous video, I'd rather take it a light colored fender over that baconator fender that it was before. Right now, I am going to be taking off to my buddy's house to help him with his sedan, because last night he was washing or cleaning his VTEC solenoid, and all of a sudden the car doesn't turn on anymore. And he's scared and afraid that he might have messed something up. So he's just around the corner. I'm going to go over there, check out what's going on with his car, hopefully get it up and going. Ooh, valve lash tool. Don't forget that. His car is a B series, I believe. They are 10 mils. So I'll grab the 10 mil right here. Grab my feeler gauges, 1 and 2, intake and exhaust. On the way, I'm gonna grab some food. We'll see you guys over there. Oh no! Now it's fucking spinning. So the issue here is his VTEC solenoid was like super duper loose, even though you torqued it down, right, to specification. He's a Honda technician, by the way. So he torqued it down, and for some reason it was still moving around. Realized that the bolts pulled threads, so he's time certing it. But originally, why we're here is it was leaking so much oil that he was cleaning it, and he was washing the oil off the engine. And then what happened? The car just didn't turn on no more? Didn't turn on. Yeah, so it didn't turn on no more. Then you said something about the throttle body or something?
Yeah, smoke started coming out of it.
Smoke started coming out of here. But you said it was stuck too, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's unstuck now. But anyways, man, this B20VTEC in this car has been in your car for like, what, 6 years or something?
6, 7 years.
Yeah, so Paco had it for a while, a couple of years before that. And then I remember when me and Paco went to go buy this engine from the guy who had it. I don't know who built this motor, but it ran really great for a long time. But starting to notice that, again, he said it was smoking. I also noticed that the filter here on the valve cover is drenched in oil, and also the catch can we put in it years and years ago is drenched with oil. I'm not sure if like the rings are going bad or whatever, but I'm trying to figure out what his no start issue is. Right now he's fixing the VTEC solenoid 10 mil threads, so we can put that back on, fill it with oil, then we can dive into see why it's not turning on. This thing has been a daily for 6+ years, so for it to do what it did, just a little wash down on the VTEC solenoid, not sure what's going on with it. Bite. So he told me the car did actually turn on yesterday after he was tinkering with it, right? Even though it was still bleeding oil out of the VTEC solenoid. But the problem is you heard some weird knocking noise on the cylinder head, which is why you guys saw me got the valve lash tool. We're gonna do a valve lash on this as well too, to make sure that it's in spec. But right now, everything's already drilled out, and we just need to tap it before the time cert. It's already, what do you call that? It's already tapered in. And I just noticed that this foot's got the sticker on here. Hello. I need this sticker right here. Certified YouTube mechanic. Where'd that come from?
Amazon.
Oh, yeah, I have to cop me one of these. That's sick. The YouTube.
Or Temu. Or TikTok.
Oh, yeah, one of those. Oh, no. I kind of want this.
And for the road trips, it'll come in clutch. Just throw it in the back.
Yeah, because my tool bag is like messy, right? So if I have like a box like this all organized for road trips, super clutch.
What?
No. I mean, I do, but I ain't gonna make you buy it. Came in for some drill bits because I bought some DeWalt ones and they work really well. 20 bucks. This is the one that I bought right here. This thing works really well. Grabbing another set just because. Hey, we were drilling, tapping the side of your head or what?
Oh, this could actually come in clutch. Yeah. This is actually dang. What is this?
You only come here for the 50% off, right? Tables?
Every week.
Yeah, because they got different stuff here all the time. These are all new too. But, oh, got some cut off disc. 3. Oh yeah, that was here last time. So if the big ones are only $10, how much are these small ones? So I've been here since December and they haven't had any of these in stock for the Milwaukee bandsaw. And there's 3 of them. So I'm thinking about just buying all 3 of them, so I don't have to wait months in between. Guys, we just got out of Fastener. We were headed home to go get my time cert kit, and we stopped by here real quick because, you know, it's like 5 minutes down the road. And I came here to get some more of the sanding belts. I came here to get some more sanding belts if they had it, but more so I came here to get the DeWalt drill bits because they work really well. I figured just grab it before they run out on the shelf, and they ended up having the Diablo sanding belts. And I asked them about the soldering iron. If you guys watched the dyno video, the M12 soldering iron, they said they didn't have it. And when we were about ready to check out, he goes to the back and he finds 3 more. And guys, the tool for the month, Milwaukee soldering iron, bro. Hey, Milwaukee's be coming out with some fire stuff, dude. This thing helped us up so much at the dyno, and I told myself I had to get one. The butane one works really well, but you run out of gas, you run out of palms. And most of my tools are Milwaukee, so I figured if this ever run out of battery, just pull it off one of my other tools and we're ready to rock and roll again. So we go to my house, grab some stuff, and then we're gonna head back to his place to figure out his car. Went to my pad, grabbed my time cert kit right here, and turns out the drill bit that's in his kit is the wrong size because the tap that was in his kit kept like blowing out the hole. And I went to go grab mine, and sure enough, the bit itself, this one right here, is different than the one he has in his kit. So, you know, his co-worker's been using his stuff and putting the wrong stuff back in it, and literally just tapped the VTEC solenoid holes. Easy peasy, like literally no effort whatsoever. Yeah, you guys can chop me up for using the drill, but you guys got to really control the throttle on the drill, and this just makes it easier than the actual handle itself. But also because my handle is broken, which is why I don't use it. Anyways, right now we just got to put some Loctite on the time shirt itself,
Selling used tires,
and then drive it in with the driver, which is this guy right here. Oozing that red Loctite right there. Okay, so he's got the battery put on, and he turned it on a second ago, and I thought it had sounded like a knock only when you rev it. So it sounds normal, right? And he was talking about this knocking that came from here. It sounds like it's coming from the bottom end, but back over here. Kill it. I don't think it's a valve train issue. It might be the bottom end. So we're gonna pop the valve cover off anyways, just to double check all the valves. And if it still does it, then the next thing he can do is drain the oil and see if it has any metallic in it. The guy who built this motor, don't know how long he ran it for. Paco had it for a couple of years when he bought it, and then he bought it 6 years ago. This motor has been, it's been running. It's been doing its job. It's been doing its deeds, but I'm not sure what happened there. This thing does have oil. It's at the bottom of the stick. So I know it has at least 4 quarts in it, but the knocking, not entirely. I can't 100% verify that it's the rod knock, but once he drains the oil, he'll figure it out.
Tomorrow.
So we did the valve lash and give it some. Still there.
It's not as bad as it was though.
Yeah.
But you know, I always had that. It's actually a lot quieter.
It is quieter when you just did that right now. But
don't feel it as much either.
But it sounds like a knock. The other thing is he's had a bad tensioner for a long time, and when you did the timing, you only did the belt and the water pump, but he didn't do the tensioner. And I had an issue back in the days on my VTEC where the tensioner was bad and it was creating a knocking noise as well too. That could be the issue, but he don't want to change it today, because realistically we could change the tensioner and see if it fixes the problem. If it does it, then drain the oil and then see the pan there. But honestly, that probably would have been the first thing to see if there's like a rod knock or anything. Me and Eric went to go grab some food and he went home. I'm back here in the garage. I'm gonna put some more work into the wagon. Not too much because it is super duper dark. It's not even late, it's just super duper dark. And I want to make some more progress before we wrap it up tonight and continue tomorrow with the valve cover. I was going to do the valve cover right now, but I really want to show you guys the color that we went with for the valve cover in the sun. So right now I want to put my bumper back together. This is a JDM EF9 front bumper, which comes off a hatchback, and you do need to do a little bit of modification to get it to fit the Civic wagon. And in my case, very extensive, because I have this giant intercooler in the front. So I am using my Wagon factory bumper support, or at least what's left of it. Yeah. Not much of a bumper support, but I need to modify the Civic wagon filler, this piece between the headlight and the bumper, to go onto the EF9 bumper. None of the holes lined up, so you're gonna have to get creative with like connecting this onto the bumper itself. The bumper itself has a bunch of self tappers, because that's how I connected it way back in the days. Honestly, right now self tappers are my best friend. So we got this one tapped in, and the bumper is flush with the filler, right? Barely see a gap in there. Sorry for the light glare. I did the same thing on the other side over here. Same spot, self tapper. I did pre-drill it with a drill bit. And this side also nice and flush, right? Try to block the glare a little bit. Nice and flush. Now the front section is a little tricky. So if you look, the line of the bumper is right here, and the filler piece, if I'm not like manipulating it, it sits right on top of that line, which you can kind of see right there. But when you get to the corner, it disappears. You see how it disappears right there? The contours of the bumper between the hatch and the wagon is slightly different, but I mean, realistically, it does bother me a little bit, but realistically, not too much once the filler is flushed, right? But I can, if I wanted to, before I screw it down, I can pull it forward, right? And zap it in place. Another thing too is on the old filler, I didn't have spacers in between. If you look, there is a gap right there. So I'm gonna have to use some spacers in between. I'm just gonna keep it with self tappers. It's worked perfectly fine. The bumper support actually lands in the bumper, which then gets bolted to this hole, to the filler, so it's going to secure the two together. And again, I've done this back in 2014. This bumper and filler system with the self tapper has been working all of this time. Why change something that works, right? So I have the bumper support installed, the filler is attached. I did end up putting this little like plate right here in the back, because I wasn't trying to get too crazy with trying to secure this corner section right here. So I put a little plate in between, screwed it on top, and then when I put the bumper on and screwed this into this, it will tie into that plate right there to kind of like hold this one in position, you know what I mean? So I have it on both sides. Before I put the bumper on the car, I am going to make a little bracket right here to hold the lip where it needs to be. So it needs to sit right here, right? And when the bumper is on the car without anything supporting this corner, it droops, and then it makes it look super uneven, right? So you can see right there, it's supposed to look like that closed gap. So I'm gonna bend some Z-shaped brackets. If you guys buy eBay lips, they always come with like a Z-shaped bracket, and I thought I had some extra ones from Project Blueberry because I blew the spoon lip apart. I bought a second one, and I don't know where those brackets are at. I thought that's it right there, but that's a shift linkage. I don't know where it's at. I'm just gonna bend some bracket to support that lip up, and we'll probably put the bumper back into the car. First bracket and second bracket. Let's fit the bumper up. These two little holes right here for the 10 mil are stripped, so I gotta figure out something with that because the bumper won't secure down. So I came out today and I was actually helping out the police department with the creek stuff, the gate and all that. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys would know. But anyways, last night I fidget with the bumper and got it fully secured. So I ended up taking off the bulkhead bracket that was stripped, and I just welded a nut on the backside to give it threads to catch the bolts. So the bumper fully secured, and for some reason it fits a ton better than it did before, probably because I redid the filler piece, and now we have a gapless fitment between the filler and the fender. Happy about that, especially on the right side, because this one was literally just hanging out before. Now nice and flush. I think with that little tab that I added into the bumper and securing it down with this bolt helped kind of suck it in and suck it up. So stoked about that. The lights aren't installed because I somehow lost these little clips to screw the lights in, and I gotta find them. They were there before, or that one's there. This one's not on because the light actually hits the battery. Before I put the wheels back on and drop the car back on the floor, one more thing I want to do is put my new valve cover on and build a new breather line to the catch can. My valve cover is powder coated with a gloss black base with clear coat on top of it. Now, if you guys remember, my valve cover has like blue, green, purple flakes, all sorts of like different color going on in it. But this one, because it was done at the powder coat shop, shout out to the homie Carlo once again, he powder coated this one with gloss black base, and originally it was supposed to be silver flakes. But I think he said he didn't have any more silver flakes, but he had a whole bunch of other ones. And the color that I chose for the flakes, I think is a nice touch. Why? Because of the sticker that's on my car. I'll show you guys in a second. So the goal was for it to look black, which it does. And then when you take it into the sun, or if I pop my hood out in the open, or if you throw some light on it, you get this nice pink flake effect. I don't know if you guys can see the pink in there. It looks freaking awesome. Carlo, man, y'all and the crew did an amazing job. Look how glossy this valve cover is. So nice and uniform, man. Can't wait to slap it on. He also did the charge pipes the same color. You guys probably didn't really see it up close, but it also has pink flakes in it. This one right here is still wrapped up because I was such in a rush to put it on to go to the dyno, but now we're gonna slap on the matching valve cover. I'm gonna go ahead and pop off my old new one. I'm probably gonna use that one in my blue sedan later, but I'm gonna pop this one off, swap all the gaskets, slap this one on, and then build my catch can lines. Guys, I am freaking upset with myself, dude. I know that I am clumsy, right? I made a couple of boo-boos. So, valve cover installed, and I thought I had a new valve cover gasket, but I don't. So I had to salvage like 3 of my valve covers to get good grommets, and fortunate for me, my Type R valve cover in the back over there had new tube seals. So I used the new tube seals on the inside, and I used the original outside gasket on the valve cover that was on it before because it looks new. I put RTV in the necessary area, and the valve cover is on. Now, because this powder coat valve cover and charge pipe came to me so quickly because I needed it before the dyno tune, you know, they powder coated really quickly, did a great job, but the dipstick hole had one of the plugs still in it when it was baking, so I don't know if it got crusted and caked up inside the dipstick tube, right? And when I put my original Type R dipstick tube in, it was like really snug, so I was like, man, I'm trying to take it back off, and I broke it. The reason why I like the Type R one is because it is black and not orange like my hand, and I'm very upset that I broke this, but they're not too expensive, I don't think. I think HMO sells them all the time. I'm not sure if you can pick it up from Honda. You might be able to, but we didn't get K20ARs here in America. But anyways, I took the orange one, the original one, and I just painted it black just because I didn't want the sore eye of the orange there, so painted it black. That cover looks good. Maybe the valve cover looks good. I maybe get an oil cap later down the road because that's fugly as hell, but valve cover is on, and I got to build the lines right now, and I forgot to show you guys why I went with the pink flakes, because we didn't have the silver. District 10 out here used to have their breast cancer awareness show that I've been attending for like almost 10 years, and then they just kind of like disappeared out of the cutties, and I've always had the stickers. I actually had more on here, but I don't know, they kind of disappeared. I think I had like 5 on here or something, but I've always had this on the car. Pink flakes, it makes sense. And Auto Club, Speedway, Fontana, I took the wagon down the track before they shut it down, so at least I got to say that I raced that track. Anyways, catch can lights, got my bumper lights installed, got all my blinkers working, catch can lines built and installed. I was gonna put the aluminum tie for the dash 10 lines right here, but I didn't want the aluminum to be too close to everything and kind of scratch it into the paint over time. So this is nylon, and I know it's touching the valve cover right there, but you know, there's no other way I could have done it with the 120 fittings that I have. I did put 3 layers of electrical tape back here on the valve cover where it's touching, so hopefully it doesn't rub through into the paint. And I'm ready to put this thing back on the ground just to kind of see the whole thing all together. The wheel back on without the bacon fender. Sun is kind of setting a little bit over there, so let's roll it out. Guys, the wagon is back on the ground, running and driving. The front end looks so good with the refresh on the top portion of the bumper. I thought this side was a lot lower because of the bacon fender, but now that I've gotten straightened out, it actually is the same height as the other side. Oh, I am loving it, guys. I am loving it. And for the person who left a comment about that lip, now that we have the little Z brackets in it, it's looking much better. Man, loving it. I am loving it. The ride height, man, I haven't had the wagon this low in a very long time. And I definitely am gonna redo the exhaust system, or at least the back portion of it, because I don't know if you guys heard, I hit the driveway coming out and the exhaust is really close to the floor. Granted, it's hard to gauge it when the car is up in jack stands and I'm working on it upside down. And secondly, I did lower the car about an inch more, so the exhaust is pretty freaking low on the floor. But as long as I'm driving on flat roads, I'll be okay. Speed bumps, take it a little slower. It's not like I haven't driven a lower car before, but damn, guys, I am super stoked. I am super stoked. Let me give you guys a look on the valve cover and the charge pipe setup real quick. I'm not gonna drive it around the block. I just wanted to pull it out, you know, just to see it in the light before the sun goes down. Oh my goodness. I've always been used to either the bright blue valve cover or the wrinkle black, but with the gloss black and the pink flakes, dude, I'm loving it. The stainless steel intake for the turbo, freaking awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and snap some photos and move the car back up and probably cap out this video. You guys want to know what I forgot to do today? I forgot to work on the wing for the wagon, but that is something we can do tomorrow, you know, add it to the task of all the other little things that we need to do. But aside from that, the car itself is ready for the road trip. Runs and drives, tuned, aligned. I drove it around. We did the pull at the dyno. It feels like it's ready to rock and roll. But I will say though, right now, in this current position, this time and day, I don't know if I'm gonna have my registration in time to get the wagon down to SoCal for the Honda meet, unless it's on the trailer, which I doubt. I'm becoming a little worried, right? But we still have like a week and a half left, and we'll see where it ends up at. You know, I really do want to bring the wagon out there because that is why we've been pushing these last few weeks, if not months, to get this car up and going. Worst case scenario, the blue all-wheel drive car is ready to rock and roll the way it is, as long as I get front tires, because I'm definitely not going to be driving on the ET Street Rs. But at the end of the day, whether the wagon makes it down there or not, it's up and going again. It's been down for over a year. I've neglected it, robbed a ton of parts off of it for the blue car, and it's a running, driving car again. I can literally get in there, put the key in, turn it on, and go. If I had registration, I could just go. But I'm happy to have the car back regardless, and hopefully to enjoy it more aside from just this meet coming up. At least I can drive it around here in the Bay and just go to a lot of the meets that I have been missing. So at the end of the day, I'm happy to have my wagon back. So anyways, we're gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoy a little bit of my buddy's EF Sedan B20VTEC diagnostic and a little bit of work here on my wagon. If you guys did enjoy it, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And a quick little solution for my buddy's car. Today he drained the oil, does have a lot of metallic. I have a buddy close by that has a B20 long block that's good. We might end up buying that long block and do another B20 VTEC using his current parts in the car and get his car up and going, and then I'll buy his short block and use that block to do the rebuild for my JDM EF2. I think that's what we're gonna do. I think that's what we agreed to, and hopefully that's gonna come up here soon, because I know how it is to have a car that you love to drive and enjoy, not run. So hopefully we'll get my buddy's car up and going soon. So if you guys want to see something like that later down the road here on the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.